Green is just lush, beautiful. See how much water is lying here. And now the old man's beard, this stuff, it's slimy. In the summer it's soft like cotton wool when it's dry, but now it's all slimy, and you walk through it and it falls on your face. It's just horrid, really horrid, and I personally don't like it. At night time, I say at night time, when it's darker, if you're walking through the forest and you walk through that stuff, oh God, it's really pretty terrible. So we've got signage here, and we see these all over the place. I haven't really seen anybody else comment on them. I see them walking through the forest, and they never comment on this kind of stickery, as I call it. Mark at Colorado, he does, because his stuff's huge, but there's no, I would like to see a drawn version of that and see what shape it looks like, because I think it might reveal quite a lot. The stuff that we see here is planetary. It's absolutely planetary. It's about the constellations, and we can directly correlate it to the shapes of the constellations. But I'm just wondering if other channels find this in their forest, and if they've bothered to look and examine it, because I think it's really, really important. I think you ignore it at your peril, really. I'm not saying it's caused you harm, but it's important stuff. You know, it's like your calling card. You would see somebody put a tag with a spray can on a wall. Well, that's the same sort of thing that we're here. Any of our other people who can understand what these mean, you can read them. It tells you a story. So it works in the same way as anything that involves energy. It works past, present, and future.
haven't been here through this little part for a little while. Nobody comes through here. There's no human rubbish or footprints. The only human rubbish will be the bags that I leave them, that they drag through here. It's not like a hunter would bother to walk through here. There are no deer tags, no tags of any kind. With all the strong winds we've had, still trees are coming down. So, still have to be careful where I walk. This is old falling. Here we go, things like this. Sometimes it's natural, but then when you see two of these upside down bees together, you think, no, that's not natural. And that is a log truck coming along the track. Good job I'm not there. Oh, look what we found. Those trucks go at such a great speed, they'll knock you off the road. I think this is quite an old bag. I'll leave those there for now. Come back to them in a minute. I'm looking for a tree. This tree over here will do. Straightish tree. It's got a bit of sunlight on it, which is why I'm thinking it will do. Right. So what I want to do with this tree is I want to mark off my height and a Sasquatch height, and we're just going to do a little bit of comparison. See how we go. Okay, so you can see the area in the middle where I have marked off my height, which is here. Okay, that's me, 5'8". Average height person. Now Bigfoots that I've heard, the average seems to be between 7 foot and 9 foot, so we'll go with the mean average of 8. Some people say taller, and I've certainly been given much higher heights, and I think that's just trying to take measurements is very difficult when you're speaking mind speak. So if I stick this ruler here, that is your 8 foot mark. The top of the ruler is 8 foot. If you wanted to have 7 foot, 7 foot would be here, on this branch here. Just behind here. There we go. Just bumping into something that size is pretty awesome. But to move into something, be followed or be aware of something that is that height, that beggars belief. So you can see why people are absolutely thrown by what they see. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just trying to do a mock-up here with myself. Put myself standing here. Do this image first. As horrific as this may be, that's me. I'm 5'8". Now I'm going to do, if I move away, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison. So my shoulder width, because I did a lot of swimming in my youth, which was what, 5 years ago. I used to do a lot of tennis and swimming, so my shoulders are probably broader than the average person, the average female. But I have 22-inch shoulders from one end to the other. The average is 17 to 18. Now, if you're a guy, that is going to be 28 inches to 30 inches from one side to the other. That's quite sizable, acceptable, sizable. Now, the average witness statement describes a Bigfoot shoulders as being 4 foot. They don't say 3 foot. They don't say 5 feet. And the reason why I make a big point of that is this, really. Now, let's say, are you going to confuse it with 2 feet? Because in your mind's eye, you're going to say, no, it's 2 rulers side by side, 2 rulers, and they are 12 inches apiece. You wouldn't confuse that. So people are clearly able to estimate what 1 foot looks like, 2 foot looks like, and even what 3 feet. Come on. Even what 3 feet looks like. So when they're saying that these guys have shoulders of 4 feet, they can work it out. They can double. It's not an exaggeration, because you know what a foot looks like. You double it, you know what 2 foot looks like. You know what a yard looks like. So you know what 4 feet looks like. So it's pretty impressive. So I'm going to superimpose a GIF of a Bigfoot on here. At that height, that width, this is a freight train, right? Okay, this is definitely a freight train. Now the arms, look at the length of the arms. The arms are not in proportion to the body. We've heard time and again people talking about how Bigfoot just sitting, its butt flat on the floor, legs stretched out in front of it, and it is able to pull its legs up to its bottom cheeks, if you like, and straight up. There's no putting its hand down to push itself up like we would use our hands to leverage ourselves up. They don't do that. They are straight up. So they must have some different muscles within their legs, within their ankles. They've certainly got this springboard in their foot, and the metatarsal break that goes right across their foot. Put that image up here for you. So that to me acts like a hinge, and that gives you immense leverage if you can then spring up. So if you were running, it would give you more power. If you were climbing, it would give you more grippage, because you could almost curl it right over. So there's something about that. There's something that they have more power. If you look at our muscles in our legs, your quads, your knee muscles alone, your joints, they take immense hammering just from everyday life. But for these guys, I think it's quite impressive. That is quite an impressive structure, to be able to get up from sitting on the ground without having to push yourself up with your hands. So I think their muscle structure is different in the back of their quads, in the back of their calves, and certainly in their feet and ankles. That hinge they have, the metatarsal break, that probably is the key to the whole thing. Now, what I do want to say is that these, when you see the shapes and the sizes and the way people, the video footage of them that we have seen, they don't have long legs, they're not lithe, they're not running machines. They are really not running machines. But if they were to get onto all fours, which we have heard this time and again, then they would absolutely outrun us. A direct comparison, dreadful comparison I know, but would be a bear. A bear on 2 legs doesn't run very far, but a bear on 4 legs is fast, nimble, and can run as fast and as long as it wants to. That's just my direct comparison. The other side of that is we compare all these beings, we lump them all together and say they are all Bigfoot, when they're absolutely not. I think there are different types of things we call Bigfoot. And I think if you're comparing Dogman, there's a clue in the title, that is very different to a Bigfoot. A Bigfoot is more akin to a human form, humanoid shape and form, whereas Dogman is more akin to dog shapes. So they can move at tremendous speed. Different thing altogether. Don't want to go down and discuss them things really. So when we go to the size of Bigfoot, the height, the width, the weightage, it's difficult. The proportions of their legs to their body. People have also described how when they have seen them, their whole upper body turns to look at them. And this is, I think, because of this sort of V-shaped muscle that's in the back of their neck. They don't have a neck as such, so they can't turn their head. They have to turn the whole of their body because it's all attached. Their vision, completely different thing. Not like our vision. They're tetrachromats, completely different. They see in a different way, able to see in the night, which is why if you have bright lights, it completely destroys their night vision. In the same way as for us, if you have night sights on binoculars or in your tank, whatever you're driving, it's going to affect your vision. If you are dazzled by a bright white light, it's going to destroy your night vision. So I think this is one of the reasons why they become very angry when you're walking around flashing lights. The infrared, I think that also disrupts their vision. And also, more than their vision, I think infrared and ultraviolet not destroys, but disrupts their energy fields, the frequency that their energy fields work at. So we need to be more careful about the type of light we have. So if you have them on your property and you didn't want them on your property, the very simple answer is to have bright lights shining out your property. They won't come near because they can't use it. It destroys their ability to defend themselves. And that's one of the reasons why I think they can get quite irate when they come across a hunter who suddenly flashes bright lights at them. You may be on the receiving end because you've ruined their ability to see. It disabled them in a way. And that might be a fear thing where they become afraid that they have lost an ability to defend. So, with all of that, I think what I'll do is I brought some bits and pieces we can put down for them in this area. I don't come to this area very often, but I'll find a little place, a little gifting area, and I'm thinking straight ahead, like that. What do you think? Do you think that sounds good? Alrighty, so I've got some peanut butter here, which I'm going to stick on there. Then I thought some almonds, which I'll stick there. Hazelnuts, which I'll pop there. I don't want to put any pressure on here because there's no balance below that. It's just hollow moss. So again, I'm going to try the carrots. I think they might quite like carrots. Why am I giving them carrots? I've just got an abundance of carrots. And some cashews. How about that? So I thought if I plop all those there, I've got some different incense. I have no idea whether it's any good or not. The quality of it is poor, but the smell, the aroma, the scent is just beautiful. Oh dear, that's a bit better, sort of. I'm sure they'll find that and enjoy it with our love. Okay. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been useful. If you have any ideas you want to explore, send them my way and we'll run with them all. Okay, thank you and goodbye.